We've seen in some movies and also documentaries, some programs about autism, that the children are completely isolated. They have sort of communication, but only with a world in their mind. They don't. They are not like mentally retarded, but they have a sort of communication, but with themselves or some people that we cannot see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I would like to, in fact, draw a line between what the movies would give us as a perception about the kids with autism, and the reality about autism. In fact, the scientific, I would say, name to it for autism is the autism spectrum disorder, which is a disorder that has more than one, in fact, type within the autism spectrum disorders. That's one. Second, the characteristics of kids with autism, it's different from case to case. So generalizing the, I would say, the type of disorders that these kids get, and all kids with autism, it can be dangerous. Kids with autism are, as I mentioned, different case by case. What we should know is that these kids, I would say, need comprehensive, thorough evaluation, diagnosis to their case in order to come up with exactly the needs that these kids or each child need. But yes, there are some common, I would say, characteristics within these kids. Yeah.
Yusuf, you're a medical school student, and you're part of the campaign that is, its aim is to raise the awareness, as we've seen in that report, to let people know more about autism and how to deal with them. We want to know more about the center, the Autism Research and Treatment Center, and its aim, the goals, and the mission and the vision, and actually this campaign, the timing of it and the aim of it.
Okay, actually the ART Center started 6 months ago, but last week we have the grand opening at King Saud University College of Medicine, and what we are trying to do here is we're trying, first of all, as you said, like raise the awareness and correct the a lot of wrong concepts about autism.
Like what?
Like thing you said about movies. Let me give you an interesting fact. A lot of autism kids have higher IQs than ours. Some of them are mentally retarded, others have higher IQs, and some of them are really good when it comes to computers.
And when it comes to math as
math,
well,
yeah, math, computers, they love to do anything by their own. So that's why they prefer computers. They don't prefer people. They prefer to work alone. If you give, for example, someone a car, he will look at it in a different way. Like he will look at its parts, how does it work, and that's really smart from them. But
so they are not mentally retarded, and this is important. They're
not all of
treated
them.
in a different way. Some of them they are.
Yeah, because mentally retardedness is like a symptom of autism, but it doesn't have to be there.
No, but I've seen a little bit difference, and maybe Dr. Khalid can correct me here if I'm wrong, that some of the mentally retarded people, we don't see any smartness while they're doing anything, but for the autistic people, as Yusuf mentioned, and as I've seen as well, that they can play puzzles, they can do something that is needs or acquires some mental work, but mentally retarded people, they can't.
Well, let me go back to the mental retardation and autism. And the irony here is at the beginning of the I would say discovering the disorder, the first statistics said that 70% of kids with autism have mental retardation. That was 25 or 30 years ago. Now
when it was
they are discovering this is not. Yes, that's what has been I would say used in the scientific community, is that most of the kids with autism, that's what they used to say, have some kind of mental retardation. However, with research and more knowledge we are gaining about the autism disorder, that they found that less and less kids with autism would have intellectual challenges, and as Yusuf mentioned, many of them would have even some talents and some they excels in certain areas. But once again, we have to be careful, even in when it comes to that, is that we should not also overestimate the abilities of kids with autism. If we have 1 or 2, 3 kids with if they have giftedness or talent in one area,
Yeah.
it's like when you come to the normal. I would say, or typical people. Kids with autism, you have kids who are mostly they are called high functional autistic children, and you have the I would say middle and the low function autistic kids. So it depends on, and you see kids with some talent or I would say giftedness in an area, but you see autistic kids who have normal IQ, normal performance, and deficits in some areas, and they can excel in other areas. All that, as I mentioned earlier, has to do with a comprehensive evaluation. Take it case by case. Do not generalize when it comes to their characteristics, their ability, their strengths. Yeah.
We're having a report right now about a problem that has been sent by one of our viewers. Our email is blackandwhite@mail.net.sa. If you have, if you're concerned about anything and you would like us to tackle it or talk about it here in the program, please don't hesitate to send us. We are going to stop with this report about the problem. We'll be back in moments to talk more about autism. If you're interested or you would like to know more about it, it's really very interesting to talk about it, and you are going to find lots of surprising results, as the first one was the false image that has been there spread in movies and some of the soap operas or series about the autistic people. We want to correct this. We want to raise the awareness and to let you know more about it. Please stay tuned.
My Child Has Autism by Janet Charles, a parent. Our son Ivan was 27 months old when he was diagnosed with autism.